my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'm going to do this very soft pink colour block design using the Gems Nail Systems colour of the week and some of the glitters from the nail team glitters of the month. Now I absolutely love doing colour block designs, so to see how this was created, please keep watching. So Miss Lottie is all set up for this set. I've applied my stiletto tips and just nipped the end off to make these more of a long ballerina, and to change it up I have used the natural stiletto tips from Gems Nail Systems as opposed to the clear. I'm really liking these. Now our colour of the week this week was the beautiful Dolly in gel polish and acrylic. Be quick because you can still get her for £5. She is this gorgeous sort of pink toned white. She is really pretty, really soft, and I'm also going to pair her with Angel White in this set. I'm going to bring these two pops in just so you can see the comparison of these two colours. You can see Dolly is ever so slightly pinkier, but it's definitely a white base, and that is why I would describe her as a pink toned white. Of course we're going to be using crystal clear because I always use crystal clear. And then we've got our glitters of the month at the nail team. This month they are these diamond glitters. They have a beautiful sort of pearlized finish, and I'm going to be using pearl from the collection, and for a touch more sparkle I'm going to use one of the Valentine's glitters. This is Kisses. Going to start off and just do my thin clear base with clear acrylic, and then we'll be able to get started with the design. So just going back to the glitters of the month, there are 12 in the collection and they are just £15 throughout the whole month of May. That is for the whole collection. There are some beautiful pastel colours in this particular diamond glitter collection. I highly recommend them, so please go check them out. There are swatches on my other social medias of all of the colours. I'm using the Eleanor brush for this set, and now my thin clear base is down, we are going to get started, and I'm going to start off with the colour blocking on the index finger and the pinky. So I'm starting off with Dolly. Now on camera she is looking quite white, but I promise you this is Dolly. I place my bead at the cuticle and I tucked it in, then I'm just pulling it down with sort of the belly of my brush, tidying up as we go, just where I want that colour block to be, and I'm making sure I've got some height to that line across, and I want it to be on a little bit of a diagonal. I'm doing lots of work with the brush, patting it into place, using the tip of my brush to sort of clean up, and then the side and belly of the brush to really straighten up that line. It doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to come in and use my knife. I just need to let it set ever so slightly to make it easier to cut. So while I do that, I'm going in with Dolly on the middle finger, and I'm going to be doing a full nail of her. So I applied it at the cuticle, I'm tidying up the cuticle, I painted it down. Now we're coming in with the craft knife and we're going to cut away the excess. I think I got the perfect spot. Sometimes I go in, it's set too much. Sometimes I go in, it hasn't set enough. But this is just going to sharpen up that line. If you're not confident with a craft knife, please don't use it. You can always use floss or string, or you can do the work with the brush and you can go in and file. I'm pretty confident with a craft knife now, but I am only working on a practice hand. I'm just going back now to the middle finger, and I'm going to finish applying Dolly to the whole nail, making sure I've got nice coverage. I am painting it on. We are going to be adding a little bit of glitter, so I don't want to add too much bulk, especially at the cuticle, but I wanted to make sure there is full coverage. And I'm going to be doing the same on the ring finger and doing a full nail. On the pinky, I'm going to be doing the same as the index finger, and we're doing a colour block. So I applied it in the same way, but I want my diagonal line to go the opposite direction, so they were almost meet in the middle if the line kept going. So here you can see I'm just using the brush to pat it down so it's sort of nice and neat, it's not too bulky. I've got a nice shape to it. We're just tidying up and then we use the side and the belly of the brush to really straighten up that line. I feel I get it quite straight, so if I didn't want to go in with the craft knife, I could just file to crisp it up. It really is down to confidence and preference, and I'm going to leave that to set slightly, and whilst that is setting, we're going to start working on the ring finger, which is going to be a full dolly nail again. And then I've not worried too much about the structure and the apex. I have found if I do my colour blocks like this, cut away with the craft knife, make sure I've got enough height that I can put the next colour up to it without overlapping, I can then come in at the end with crystal clear and use that to create any apex or structure the design still needs. But I do try and get as much of the structure in as I can, but I'm not worried if I haven't. Does that make any sense? I've no idea. I'm just tidying it up here with my brush a bit, so I trimmed away a bit from the side and I felt I left it a little bit uneven. My brush was wet and I was just trying to straighten up that line a bit. It looked fine, but if I wasn't happy, I would have just gone and filed it. Back to the ring finger, and we're just doing like we did on the middle, adding a little bit more dolly for full coverage, painting it on. You can just slightly see a side view and it is super thin. Moving back to my colour block, and I've picked up a tiny bead of that Kisses glitter, and I am applying that, just laying that down as sort of a background colour, and this is my next block. So I'm just coming down, I sort of did a third and then I'm going to do 2/3, and then the last will be Angel White. Trying not to overlap onto the first block I did. If I do, it's not the end of the world, I'll just file it away at the end so I've got that perfectly straight line. But I'm keeping this really thin because we're adding diamonds on top, and I'm going to do the same on the pinky. I'm not worried if that line is not perfectly straight at the bottom because we will tidy it up. I've tipped out my diamonds onto my kitchen roll. I've gone in with a wash of clear acrylic, very small amount. We just want it there just to sit those diamonds into, and then I'm picking them up with the very tip of my brush and putting them in place. Now you could use a 3D brush if you preferred to do this because it's much smaller, so you might find that a little bit easier, but I've just brought my brush to more of a point and I'm picking them up, and I find it so much easier to work with shape glitters out of the pot. So I'll tip them out, I'll spread them out a bit so it's easy to pick up one at a time. Once we sort of covered all the acrylic I've put on, you see I've just gone in with another bead and I'm just taking it, I'm not gonna go further than that line I've made with our glitter, our fine glitter. I want to be in a little bit so that I can make sure when I trim away from encapsulating, I'm not going to have a clear line between this block and the white block. So it doesn't matter if I cover a little bit of this with my white, I just don't want a clear line. If you did end up with a clear line, you could sort of go in at the end and add some white art gel to sort of separate the blocks, but I managed to get this pretty spot on. And we're going to do exactly the same on the pinky. I'm just working out which way around my diamonds need to go to make sure they're sort of straight on the side wall. So I flipped it around, and again it's just picking them up and placing them. Now obviously I've sped this up ever so slightly. I did a bit of a live on TikTok the other day talking about these diamond glitters. People see shape glitters and sort of go, oh, they're going to take ages. Once you get into a rhythm, they don't take that long to work with, and the final result is just stunning. I needed to move these, straighten them up a little bit, so I just used an orange stick just to get in and move them around. And you could actually use the orange stick to be picking the glitters up if you preferred not to use the brush, but I'm quite happy with the brush. And these are super thin glitters, so they lie really flat. I don't need to get my plastic in or anything with these. We're just going to finish placing all of these, and then I want to let them set in place before I come in with crystal clear and encapsulate. So what I'm going to do is add some of that Kisses glitter from the cuticle and just ombre fade it down over top of the middle and the ring finger, just to tie all these nails in and add a little bit more glitter. If I wanted to, I could have maybe used like the Dolly Elite glitter instead of this, but I just thought it was a really pretty glitter and I thought it would be a nice back colour to those diamond glitters. Exactly the same on the ring finger. Don't want too much, I'm literally just a sort of an ombreing it down from the cuticle. This gives those diamonds enough time to set in place so that when I come and encapsulate them, this is where I'm sort of going to build up that colour block now. They're not going to move. So joined up with that first block, and then here I want to create that wall of acrylic, nice and straight. I don't want to come down further than the glitter. As I said, I don't want a clear line. I want all of my blocks to join together seamlessly. So again, I'm using the belly of my brush to really shape that as best I can, but I do come in with my craft knife again, and I like to sit my craft knife into the acrylic powder, and this way it's not going to stick. We just trim away the excess and do exactly the same on the pinky before adding the final colour to our colour block. And I know I'm repeating myself, but I think it is so important. If you are not confident using a craft knife, please don't use it on your clients. This is an old knife that I did use for crafting originally. I just cleaned it up. So it's slightly blunter than a fresh blade. And if I got to the point I needed to change the blade, I would blunt that one slightly, so it's not ultra sharp. But if you're not confident, there are other ways to do a colour block that doesn't involve a knife. It doesn't look like I let that set slightly, but I assure you I did, because otherwise it would have just smushed in and smushed away. I'm just let that fully set, and then I'm going to go in with Angel White at the tip of the colour block, and it's at this point now that I'm applying the Angel White you can see the clear difference between Dolly and the white. This is a true white, whereas you can tell straight away Dolly is not a true white, and that's because she's slightly pink. Trying not to overlap that colour block or the second block I did. If I do, you see I'm using a wet brush just to tidy up and remove any of that white acrylic. But if it did come to it and it was finished before I did any encapsulation and there was some white on there, just go over with sort of a to be honest, I'd use a 240 file and just buff it off so that I've got a nice straight crisp line. Now that should be the design all laid down. It is. So I'm going to encapsulate in clear acrylic. I'm going to check the index and the pinky, see where I need to build up the apex, build up some structure. I need to encapsulate the white anyway. And then I am going to go in with my Katie Barnes e-file. I'm going to refine the surface of the nail, tidy up the side walls, bring them back to that nice ballerina shape, ready to come in with the Queen Miss Tina top and finish this design off. So here they are all filed. They are looking gorgeous, and how pretty are those diamond glitters as they hit the light. Now the diamond glitters I think look really nice in a matte as finish as well, but we are going to be going in with Tina top. So give them a good clean. We want to get rid of any dust or fluff, any oils I might have transferred to these nails, which will affect the adhesion of the top coat. And I don't want any dust or fluff in my finished nail. So good clean up, ready to go in with Her Majesty. She really is Miss Tina top. And here we go. We are going to bring those diamond glitters back to life. We're going to bring those that beautiful pink iridescent underneath glitter back to life. It's like an alarm clock, Tina top. It wakes it up. You know what I mean? Your alarm clock goes off and you're like, whoa, I'm awake. And Tina Top comes in and this design goes, what? I'm awake again. And we're going to finish off, nice generous coat of Tina Top on all of these nails and pop it in the lamp to cure for 60 seconds. Now, while I am Tina Topping, I feel I've gabbled on a lot in this video, but while I'm Tina Topping, I just wanted to, unfortunately, as I am sat voicing over this video, where are we Saturday? 1, 2, 3, 4 days ago, I dislocated my shoulder again. Those of you that follow me for a while know back in October I dislocated it. I have dislocated it again. I am back in the sling and I'm in the sling for 3 weeks. Which means for 3 weeks, unfortunately, I am unable to do any nail designs or anything. Now the good thing this time is I have quite a lot of content, video content already filmed, so I will just sit and edit those as I can and be able to post those. So I will still be sharing content, but I am sort of out of action for creative wise for a few weeks now. But I am filling my time doing some live videos over on my TikTok, possibly also on my Instagram and Facebook. So please do go and check me out on those other socials as well if you want to sort of see a bit more over the next few weeks. But as soon as I'm recovered, I will be back creating as normal. So this set is now fully cured and I love that little touch that those diamond glitters add to the design. I love doing colour blocking anyway, but adding something like those diamond glitters, I think it's an easy way to use them without doing a full nail, which can seem a bit overwhelming and time consuming. But it's such a soft set. I really like this one. I hope you guys do too. So we have come to the end of this design. All products I've used are available from gemsnailsystems.com. The Dolly is on offer until the end of day on Sunday the 5th of May, so tomorrow for when I'm uploading this, and then we'll have a new colour of the week, and the beautiful diamond glitters are on offer for the whole of May, so if I've tempted you with those, now is the time to purchase those. Any of the other products I've used, which are full price, you can use Helen 5 for 5% off, but that is only valid on full price products. But as always, I will leave all the links in the description box for you. If you have enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you'd give it a thumbs up. I would love to hear from you, so please leave me any comments down below. If you've got any video requests that I can easily film, more chatty, showing off things with one hand while I'm in my sling, please do let me know. And if you are new to my channel, please click that subscribe button. I've got so many things planned to come up over the next few months, especially once I can get back properly filming again. But that really is it from me today for this video. So thank you all so much for watching. As I said, check out the description box for all the information and product links, and I will be back in another video very soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye. Mwah.